Good evening, glad that you are watching your channel of choice on the news tonight. Tonight, country is running out of COVID-19 vaccine, but the Ministry of Health says you are better off with a faster dose than none at all. Kikuyu Council of Elders split over the planned coronation of National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi as the Mount Kenya region spokesman.
Na mtu akijaribu kwenda pale atapatwa na mambo mabaya sana.
But preparations at the shrine are underway.
We don't have somebody who can do better than Muturi.
And Jubilee Party concedes defeat in the just concluded by-elections.
Ni kama timu mbili ya mpira, team A na team B. Lakini sasa walijipata team A na team B zimeenda kwa final.
But the party's leadership has been faulted and blamed for the loss.
Jubilee is losing support because of mismanagement.
Mini Mbesa is our sign language interpreter. Good evening, I'm Abubakar Abdullahi. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, the Ministry of Health, in partnership with UNICEF, is set to launch a polio vaccination campaign targeted at 13 high-risk counties in the northern part of the country. The Director General of Public Health, Dr. Francis Kuria, says the campaign has been necessitated by a surveillance conducted by the Ministry of Health in Garissa and Mombasa counties that picked a total of 6 polio cases, 3 of which were found in healthy children reported to have been originating from the neighboring country of Somalia. Our health reporter Zainab Mohammed begins our broadcast tonight.
Even though the Africa region was declared polio-free in August last year, polio outbreaks have continuously been reported in 21 countries within the region, including Kenya. The Ministry of Health now reporting a total of 6 cases in the northern parts of the country, including Dadaab refugee camp and Garissa township, both in Garissa County, and Vita area in Mombasa County. According to the ministry, 3 out of the 6 cases that were picked in a routine surveillance were found in healthy children reported to have been originating from Somalia.
We have detected cases in 3 children, 3 healthy children who came from Somalia. Those are stool samples taken from the children. And then we also picked 3 cases from sewage samples, one in Mombasa, a site in Mombasa and a site in Garissa.
The ministry says this has necessitated the launch of a polio vaccination campaign targeting a total of 3.4 million children below the age of 5 in 13 high-risk counties. The campaign that is set to begin on Saturday in Garissa County will be conducted in 2 phases between the 22nd and 26th of May and the 22nd and 29th of June.
As a result of the outbreak in Garissa and Mombasa counties, the Ministry of Health undertook a risk assessment and identified 13 counties as being at the highest risk and opted for emergency polio vaccination in targeted regions. Those 13 counties include Mandera, Isiolo, Wajir, Garissa, Lamu, Tana River, Kilifi, Mombasa, Kitui, Machakos, Kajiado, Kiambu, and Nairobi.
The ministry demystifying any fears towards the vaccine ahead of the launch with assurance that the vaccines that have been in use for over 15 years have been certified as safe for use among children.
Just taking that child, open the mouth, let that drop go in, and that dream is made alive again. That child can play Mount Kenya in future. So let us not dim the dreams of our children, and especially in those countries where we have marked in a map there. We urge you, almost persuading you, do not dim those dreams.
I was among the first people who went for the vaccine because this time round I had the choice with COVID-19 vaccine. Many years ago, I didn't have that chance because somebody else had to make the decision. Today, please, let's make the decision for our children that no child can be left to the dangers of polio.
Kenya's case success in the eradication of polio continues to be undermined by a number of challenges, including neighboring countries with regular polio outbreaks and extremely low polio immunization rates among children under the age of 5, as the COVID-19 pandemic also puts a notable dent to the polio eradication campaign, with an average of 300,000 children remaining unvaccinated in the country every year. Zainab Mohammed, TV47.
Elsewhere, the family of a Somali-American businessman working in Kenya is in distress following the mysterious disappearance of their kin on the evening of Eid al-Fitr a week ago. Bashir Mohamud, an engineer undertaking various government projects in the country, was last seen at an entertainment joint in Lavington. Days later, the shell of his Range Rover vehicle was discovered in Kibiku area of Ngong Forest. Detectives are piecing together crucial leads as to the whereabouts of Bashir Mohamud, with the family now seeking the intervention of the American Embassy. Mwangi Maina now reports.
At 5:23 p.m. Thursday evening a week ago, and Bashir Mohamud is captured on CCTV cameras making his way into Miale Lounge, a high-end entertainment joint within Lavington area of Nairobi. Mohamud is captured dishing money to security officers before driving into Miale Lounge using his Range Rover registration number KCQ 007P. Bashir was scheduled to have a meeting with unidentified persons, but the meeting did not materialize. He left Miale Lounge an hour later. It is said he tried calling his wife moments later, but the call was disconnected and his mobile phone switched off. His vehicle was later discovered at Kibiku area of Ngong Forest, burnt beyond recognition. Officers from Kibiku police station visited the scene, and upon returning to the scene for forensic analysis, they found the shell of the vehicle carted away by unknown people. The family, through Mohamud's lawyer, has written to the American Embassy to intervene and assist them in obtaining all information within the custody of the government of Kenya regarding the whereabouts of Mohamud, obtain and relay to the family all information regarding the investigations, and obtain an unequivocal written communication from the government of Kenya confirming whether Bashir is in their custody or not. The family wants to know the date, time, and place where he was apprehended, the location where he is being held, and the reasons why he is in the custody of the government of Kenya and being held incommunicado.
Sisi wenyewe tukienda katika hizi ofisi hatupati usaidizi wowote wala hatupati information yoyote ambayo itatusaidia na ambayo itasaidia haswa familia kujua mpendwa wao yuko wapi. He's from the state of Ohio. We have been in touch with the senator in Ohio, and she has also responded very favorably and informed us that they would be actually following up on this and taking steps on that. And we're actually very grateful to the American government and particularly the diplomatic mission here in Kenya. They've been very forthcoming.
My family did miss the peace that it is supposed to have since last Thursday. Today, which is a Thursday, that is a whole week. That my daughter, who has just given birth, and 10 days she is just at home. Normally we take them to their mothers. The culture is that they be with their mothers. She's not sleeping, I'm not sleeping, the whole family is in a devastation.
The family also presented a petition to the National Assembly Security Committee seeking the expedition of the matter. Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government, Karanja Kibisho, who was present at the meeting, together with the Deputy Inspector General of Police, said Mohamud's disappearance is being investigated by the DCI.
It's only fair that proper investigations are carried out. We minimize on conclusions and speculations and allow investigations to be concluded. we have committed, and you have seen me talk to the DIG to ensure that before we end this meeting, there's some comment with regards to what you have asked.
Officers visited the scene. They took the specimen. It is under investigation by the DCI. I would request I go out, I call the DCI, and then he can be able to give us details of how far he has gone with the investigation.
Members of Parliament called for a speedy investigation into the matter and called for transparency and a sound accountability from the government.
But does it really bother you, PS, from where you sit? From yesterday and the day before yesterday, this matter it has been in the social media and it has been in the media. As a Ministry of Security, does it really matter or bother you that somebody can disappear?
Bashir was a well-known contractor within government and has been undertaking government projects, with the latest being in Nyeri and Kisumu, where the construction of Uhuru Business Park is being undertaken. Mwangi Maina, TV47, Nairobi.
Elsewhere, the preparations to install National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi as Gema spokesman are underway amid divisions among the Agikuyu Council of Elders on the event set to take place in Murang'a County. A section of the Agikuyu Council of Elders have distanced themselves with the coronation event. Elizabeth Mutuku now reports.
Despite the preparations for historical installation of Speaker Justin Muturi as the Gema spokesman on Saturday at Mukurwe Wanyagadaga Shrine, splits have emerged among the Gikuyu Council of Elders, with a section of members of the council distancing themselves with the said event.
Na mtu akijaribu kwenda pale atapatwa na mambo mabaya sana, kwa sababu kuna mambo ambayo yanaweza fanya hata yeye aanze kurudi nyuma na aanze kuwa mtu amepotoka, kwa sababu hiyo si pahali ya mchezo.
Categorical for all the people. They know we don't desecrate the place under whatever circumstances, and so we are there trying to say whoever is taking that there, we are not together and we are not part of it.
Kikuyu nyumba yote, yani hiyo kanisa ya Kikuyu na Mumbi hapo Mukurweini, sisi tumekataa kata mtu yoyote, hata kama anatoka chini ya maji au anatoka juu ya maji, sisi tumekataa.
However, a section of elders from the Gikuyu Council of Elders Murang'a branch are saying plans are underway to install Muturi as the region spokesman and not the kingpin, as it has been alleged by some elders.
Ile guo inavaliwa na president bado iko na tulipea president na bado wako nazo. Kwa hivyo sasa hatuwezi mvalisha hizo nguo. Ile kitu tunampea ni vitu ya kuonekana ni the spokesman.
No, we don't have somebody who can do better than Muturi. So the question of how we picked Muturi as elders have been accompanied this group which has been going around. We have participated. We have gone into diaspora Kajiado and the like, and we have settled on Muturi as the spokesman of Mountain Region.
A section of MCAs from Murang'a County, allied to Governor Mwangi wa Iria, have vowed to block the event at the shrine, which they term sacred and not for political purposes.
Wakati tunasikia kwamba governor hajaambiwa tena, ile ni holy shrine ya Wakikuyu wote. Holy shrine huwezi peleka maneno ya siasa kwamba unataka kuwa spokesman wa Mount Kenya region, upelekwe na watu kadhaa mmejificha na huhusishi hata akina Washira wa Kiago, national chair wa elders, huhusishi hata viongozi wenye wamechaguliwa na kura.
Having the money to go and break all those whatever they are calling the wazee or doubt wazee, this will be a curse. At least it will be a curse, and we don't want leaders, we don't want our children at least to be cursed because of our own greediness to power.
Muturi says he will take the mandate as directed by elders.
I am ready. I'm ready for the advice that will be given by the elders. I'm ready to carry carry on with whatever responsibilities that the elders will bestow on me on behalf of the region.
Elizabeth Mochuko, TV47 Nairobi.
Well, just a reminder that the Speaker is set to follow strict diet during this time that he is in seclusion. Key among others, not to eat meat and also not to be near women or a woman. You're watching your channel of choice, the County's Television. Time for us to take a short break. We still have a lot lined up for you. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more after this break.
Career market after KCSE? Worry no more. TV47, the fastest growing youth targeted TV station across the 47 counties, brings you an entire month of career options and choice opportunities across all the leading universities and TVET institutions. We have put together a rich group of experts who will guide you through your career aspirations throughout the month of May. This will climax with a virtual career fair scheduled for the 28th of May at the University of Nairobi Auditorium. All relevant stakeholders are invited to reserve a seat via david.katiku@tv.co.ke or careersfair@tv47.co.ke on 0791 999 883.
New Blue Band peanut butter, made with 100% pure peanuts and a good source of omega-6. Grow healthy and happy kids with New Blue Band peanut butter.
Hey, now that's hitting the right notes. When life gets boring, we bring out our play. You see, playfulness is in our DNA. It's in the way we move and laugh. It's in the way we walk, the way we rock, and how we just don't stop. You feel me? We add color to everything, to every day and every dish, because the world needs our crazy. We're the different flavors that make life more exciting. We're the ones who add color to every moment. Fanta, color every moment.
Welcome back to TV47 News tonight. Thank you for staying with us. Now, if you have received the first jab of the COVID-19 vaccine, then it is highly likely that you will not be getting the second dose anytime soon. The vaccine that was being stored at the Kitengela depot is depleted. The country currently has less than 20,000 doses of the vaccines remaining in few regions. However, through its Twitter page, the Ministry of Health assured those who took their first jab that they are better off compared to not getting the vaccine at all. Our senior reporter Sharon Baranga now reports.
The AstraZeneca vaccine that had been stored at the Kitengela depot is depleted. The country currently has less than 20,000 of the vaccine in different counties. This means that if you took the first jab, then you will not be getting the second one anytime soon. But the Ministry of Health, through its Twitter page, assured Kenyans who took the first jab of their safety. It said, and I quote, "You are better off with a first dose than none at all. We have not heard from anywhere of people dying because they did not get the second dose." End of quote. The tweet was, however, deleted a few minutes later amidst an uproar. Kenya recently said it is planning to have doses of Sinopharm, the Chinese vaccine that was approved by the World Health Organization on Friday last week. Sources within the Ministry of Health claims that there is hope of getting more doses of Sinopharm than Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson. Meanwhile, the Indian variant that continues to ravage the country has started spreading within our communities. The variant has been detected in Kisumu, Nairobi, and Mombasa counties. Those who tested positive for the variant did not have history of travel, the cases raising concerns in the Lake Region counties.
The oxygen plant has come at a very important time. We have a new variant that has cropped in our region, in the Lake Region economic block. And you know very well that as we have more patients suffering from COVID, the most important ingredient that is required first is oxygen.
As counties, we have made sure that we have enough ICU beds, we have oxygen in place.
494 people tested positive to COVID-19 on Thursday in 24 hours. This brings the total of the number of infections since the first case was detected in the country to 166,876. Nairobi is leading in the number of infections, followed closely by Nakuru, then Kisumu, Kericho, and Siaya. 50 patients have recovered in the last 24 hours, bringing the total number of recoveries in the country to 114,285. Sharon Baranga, TV 47.
Meanwhile, the country is just a few days away from running out of the COVID-19 vaccine. According to Health CS Mutahi Kagwe, less than 100,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine is left. The Ministry of Health says it will take back doses from regions where uptake has been slow and redistribute them for the second jabs starting in June. Health CS Mutahi Kagwe was speaking to CNN.
I think that vaccine nationalism is something that has cropped up across the world. As a continent, we must stop believing that there is anybody out there who is a good Samaritan, a biblical Samaritan, who is just about to come and help us. There's nothing like that. You know, this is a situation where we have seen very clearly, it's everyone for himself or for herself and God for us all, clearly. And therefore, going into the future, the local production, local manufacturing of pharmaceutical commodities and products is an absolute must.
How bad is it for Kenya that the Serum Institute said on Tuesday that it will not resume vaccine shipments internationally until the end of the year?
We are not just waiting for these donations that are coming to Kenya. We are in discussions with the Johnson & Johnson facilities in South Africa for what we think is going to be the new supply chain rather than relying on AstraZeneca. Given what is happening in India, and given the difficulties that the Indian people are going through and the population of India, it is very unlikely that AstraZeneca is going to be the vaccine of choice for the African continent going forward. It is very likely that we are going to discuss and agree on Johnson & Johnson.
To some politics now, and the recently concluded by-elections have set Jubilee Party leaders uneasy as Deputy President William Ruto allied United Democratic Alliance keeps the ruling party on toes. Jubilee lost in all the three by-elections, with the United Democratic Alliance, ODM and PEP winning in Ruri Ward, Bonchari and Juja constituencies respectively. The landslide loss has left President Uhuru Kenyatta angry, allegedly summoning his lieutenant to explain the massive loss, even as Majority Leader Amos Kimunya maintains that UDA is an extension of Jubilee. Musa Salah now reports. Having lost in all the three recently concluded by-elections, Deputy President William Ruto allied members of the ruling party have attributed Jubilee's massive loss in Rurii Ward and Juja and Bonchari constituencies to the party's leadership, claiming that the party has been concentrating on punishing its members.
Jubilee is losing support because of mismanagement of the party. And you have heard this before, there is only one organ of Jubilee that works. That is the organ of disciplining and throwing members out without any consultation. You cannot work at the secretariat and ignore elected leadership and grassroots leadership.
It is alleged that the by-election results have angered Jubilee Party leader President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is said to have summoned his lieutenants to explain the unexpected defeat, especially in his Mount Kenya political backyard.
Ni kama timu mbili ya mpira, team A na team B. Lakini sasa walijipata team A na team B zimeenda kwa final. Ya? Sasa Jubilee main na Jubilee UDA wakakutana kwa hivyo kikombe bado iko tu Jubilee. Lakini kwa hivyo hakuna stress kubwa, hakuna sherehe nyingi.
UDA's Francis Moraya trounced Jubilee's Peter Thinji in the Rurii by-election in Nyandarua County. Moses Kuria's PEP candidate in Juja, George Koimburi, triumphed against the late area member of parliament Francis Waititu's widow, Susan Waititu Akape. In a statement in newsrooms conceding defeat, Jubilee Secretary General Raphael Tuju said the party took note of the by-election, promising to re-strategize for better results in future elections.
This low voter turnout was majorly attributed to electoral malpractices, including intimidations of voters and bribery, which made many voters, especially women, to stay away, thus affecting the overall results. This is despite the fact that the campaigns were largely peaceful. However, even with the above and in the interest of peace and progress, we do not intend to pursue the matter in court, so we will let the matter rest. Time will tell whether the people of Juja made the right choice.
Deputy President William Ruto's UDA has offensively been forwarding candidates in the recent by-elections, shaking Jubilee's presence in President Uhuru Kenyatta's political backyard. But how far DP Ruto's influence will go into the 2022 general election remains unknown. Musa Salah, TV47. Deputy President William Ruto now says he will deliver if elected the next president. The second in command, who is currently serving his second term as the deputy president, was meeting business, professional and political leaders from Western Kenya.
Just months to the next year's polls, Deputy President William Ruto is promising Kenyan service delivery if elected to lead the country. The DP, who is serving his second term as the deputy president in Jubilee government, says he will deliver for the country.
I am prepared to be held to account because I have no doubt in my capacity to deliver.
The second in command was meeting business, political and professional leaders from the Western region to woo them to support his 2022 presidential bid.
And then let us commit ourselves to an implementation plan, so that we stop government that is just government for the sake of government.
The DP says his agenda will be creation of wealth, job and opportunities, as well as supporting enterprises and decriminalizing the business environment. In 2017, Jubilee government pledged to create 6.5 million jobs in its second term.
Politics is a game of interest.
Well, that story was voiced by Willie Dennis Njiru, but produced by Paul Kirobi. Time for us to take another short break. Stay tuned.
You are watching TV47. After KCSE, worry no more. TV47, the fastest growing youth-targeted TV station across the 47 counties, brings you an entire month of career options and choice opportunities across all the leading universities and TVET institutions. We have put together a rich group of experts who will guide you through your career aspirations throughout the month of May. This will climax with a virtual career fair scheduled for the 28th of May at the University of Nairobi Auditorium. All relevant stakeholders are invited to reserve a seat via david.katiku@tv47.co.ke or careersfair@tv47.co.ke on 0791 999 883.
New Blue Band peanut butter. Made with 100% pure peanuts. And a good source of omega-6. Grow healthy and happy kids with new Blue Band peanut butter.
Hey, now that's hitting the right notes. When life gets boring, we bring out our play. You see, playfulness is in our DNA. It's in the way we move and laugh. It's in the way we walk, the way we rock, and how we just don't stop. You feel me? We add color to everything, to every day and every dish, because the world needs our crazy. We're the different flavors that make life more exciting. We're the ones who add color to every moment. Fanta, color every moment.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku. Pata offers zote mahali pamoja ili uongeze zaidi, utume SMS zaidi na ubrowse zaidi.
Wewe usijali. Tuma namba ya kila supplier kwa hiyo soko. Enda Jubilee nitaongea na kila mmoja wao.
Very good. Piga *444 utunukiwe Credo double.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku.
Welcome back. Today, President Uhuru Kenyatta presided over the operationalization of the first berth of the new Lamu port. When complete, the 310 billion shillings port will have 32 berths, 29 of which will be financed by the private sector, making it the largest deep-water port in sub-Saharan Africa. Maria Mwacharo reports from Lamu.
Unveiling the commemorative flag.
President Uhuru Kenyatta presided over the operationalization of the first berth of the new Lamu port, marking a major milestone for the regional 2.5 trillion shillings Lamu Port South Sudan Ethiopian Transport Corridor project LAPSET, launched in 2012. When complete, the 310 billion port will have 23 berths, some of which will be financed by the private sector, making it the largest deep-water port in sub-Saharan Africa.
As a critical pillar of the Lamu Port South Sudan Ethiopia Transport Corridor, this port will connect South Sudan, Ethiopia and Kenya. Eventually, the objective under the African Union is to connect northern Kenya to the middle belt of Africa, which runs from Dakar in Senegal, that is in the west of our continent, to where we are today, Lamu, in the east of our continent.
The president witnessed the docking of Maersk-operated MV Cap Carmel and MV Siago Brahmahavel, the first and second vessels to dock at the new port respectively. MV Cap Carmel, a Singaporean container ship, docked at Lamu on its way from the port of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania to Salalah in Oman. On the other hand, MV Siago Brahmahavel is hauling a cargo of premium Kenyan avocados from Kakuzi PLC, Makuyu Orchards in Moranga County to France.
Lamu Port has the potential to become a premier transshipment hub for all cargo destined for the continent. Furthermore, Lamu now joins the port of Mombasa as being a key entry and exit point of cargo deep into and out of Africa's hinterland.
Speaking during the historical event, President Kenyatta said the new port will position Kenya's economy on the continent and globally, aiding the country's post-COVID recovery.
It will position Kenya's economy strategically in both the new Africa Continental Free Trade Area and in global trade, providing our economy with a major stepping stone as we seek to build back better post the COVID-19 pandemic.
President Kenyatta, who also commissioned the construction of the 410-kilometer Lamu-Ijara-Garissa road that includes 214-kilometer security roads to Baragoi and Kiunga, said the new infrastructure will create opportunities for Kenyan youth as well as address marginalization on some parts of the country. The president challenged the local community to work closely with security agencies to tame crime and insecurity in the area by reporting suspected criminals to security agencies.
Kuna wale ambao hawafurahii maendeleo kwa sababu maendeleo yawaondolea zile kazi za uhalifu wanafanya. Ni jukumu yenu wenzangu kusaidiana na maofisa wa usalama kuhakikisha ya kwamba tumeng'oa hawa wachache wahalifu. Miradi hii itatusaidia kupambana na mambo haya ya madawa ya kulevya, kupambana na mambo haya ya uhalifu, kwa sababu sasa vijana wako na kazi ambaye ni secure, ambaye ni nzuri, ambaye anaweza kulisha hata akienda nyumbani kwa mama amefurahi kwa sababu amekuja na kitu.
On his way to the port, President Kenyatta stopped at Minjila in Garsen, Tana River County, where he launched the Garsen-Witu Lamu Road. The 115-kilometer road will facilitate the movement of cargo in and out of Lamu Port. As the operations of the Lamu port begin officially today, according to His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, it is just the beginning, as he urges the residents of Lamu County to take advantage of the opportunities offered by the Lamu port. Mariam Wacharo, TV47, Lamu County.
Now to Vihiga County, and Vihiga County government has launched its 5-bed capacity intensive care unit together with an oxygen plant at a cost of 100.8 million shillings, respectively. Violet Auma now reports from Vihiga.
To officially open our intensive care unit.
Speaking during the launch, Governor Wilbur Otichlo says the ICU unit and oxygen plant that is one of its kind are the first in the county.
We received from the national government 60.8 million shillings. We've spent the 60.8 million and we have even added on our own 10 million to complete these facilities.
Otichlo says the county has already trained ICU nurses to man the facility that will be beneficial to the locals who have been seeking the service in the neighboring counties.
On a daily basis, we refer approximately 5 to 10 cases. And these are cases that would have benefited. Some need ICU, others need higher dependency units, which as a county we did not have before. But as per now, we've been able to install a 5-bed ICU with a technical staff.
This is a modern oxygen plant that has a capacity to produce about 300 liters of oxygen per day.
The county boss added that the oxygen plant is expected to meet oxygen demand for health facilities in the county, including private health facilities.
We have been spending a lot of money on purchase of oxygen in oxygen cylinders. But from today onwards, we shall be producing our own oxygen and we shall be supplying our own oxygen to all our health facilities. We will also be in a position to provide oxygen to other health facilities, particularly the private health facilities. We shall also be able to sell oxygen to other buyers.
This comes at a time many hospitals are experiencing shortage of ICU beds owing to surging numbers of infections. Violet Auma, TV47, Vihiga County.
Moving on, 30 private schools in Nakuru West have been shut down, leaving more than 1,000 students to search for alternative schools. The whip was cracked by the Ministry of Education officials as the schools did not have the required licenses to operate. Mudhoni Maina has the details.
Principals and parents of various Nakuru West schools found themselves between a rock and a hard place as 3 private primary schools and 27 ECDE centers were shut down since they were not up to standard to be considered as a learning institution. The DCC of Nakuru West, Michael Lesimam, who spearheaded the exercise, stated that the government will liaise with the affected parents to ensure easy access of admission for their children into other schools.
Will not operate at all. Nimesikia kidogo wasasi wakilalamika juu ya mafasi na cost. Sisi tumepea directions zile shule sote sa primary public primary schools wa receive our learners wakiwa na zare za shule ya zile mashule walitoka as the parents arrange for new school uniform. So that should not be a cause of concern.
A couple of the bad schools had been ordered to halt operations back in 2019 after a tragedy at Nairobi's Precious Talent Academy that claimed the lives of several learners. But due to the COVID-19 witnessed disruption of the 2020 academic calendar and an ensuing court case filed by the proprietors of the affected schools, the ministry officials backpedaled on the repression.
Don't you sympathize with these students?
At Little Star Academy, a mother of 2, Milka Atieno, is seeking for an admission position for her children, whose school was affected by the shutdown orders yesterday as her hopes were dialed down.
Moja kwa class 5, moja kwa class 2. Sasa nimeshikwa na butua leo kama nimeenda huko Hopewell, nimepata wamefunga. Sasa tukujua kama hiyo shule jarijishewa. Sasa tumejua leo. Sasa mimi na maombi yangu ni hivi. Sasa tutapeleka watoto wapi? Wenye wako sama lisa fee na wenye wanakuwa wamesona uniform watafanya nini? Sasa naomba tu mwenye anasimama kwa shule au atueleze tutaenda wapi after watoto wakifunga shule.
Elsewhere, Benjamin Mbatia, the proprietor of a Prince of Peace Academy, which has also been ordered to shut down, is pinning the blame on the corrupt officials at the Ministry of Education that led to the failure of the school's registration.
School is simply not registered because they have blocked us. We have written to them, we have gone to their offices several times to require that they come and register our school, but simply because we are principled, we cannot bribe them, they have stopped.
Mudhoni Maina, TV47.
Rift Valley Regional Commissioner George Natembea has said the impact of COVID-19 has deeply affected the implementation of major government projects in the Rift Valley region.
Sina problem na contractors because napata wako on site na unapata kuna about 3 certificates ambazo mtu hajalipwa, labda anadai 900 million from the government, amelipwa 50 million. So napata wengine kama wanaenda slow kidogo and they are justified. So tunataka kwenda kama RDICC we escalate hii maneno aende kwa NDITC tuone kama pesa tapatikana au contractors warudi on site. Hizi barabara kama ile ya Lesos kwenda kule Kolongolo all the way to Swam is 100% fully funded by the government of Kenya. Kwa hivyo kama kuna challenges na mapato ya serikali, unapata mradi kama unaanza kuathirika. Maana atuombi pesa loan kutoka nje. Ni mapato yetu sisi kama Wakenya, tunatoa hiyo pesa inaenda kwa exchequer alafu inalipa contractor.
Elsewhere, the Ministry of Interior and Coordination of the National Government through its Chief Administrative Secretary has directed chiefs in Kiambu County to set up tree nurseries in their area of jurisdiction as a way of ensuring Kenya attains the 10% forest cover.
The Ministry of Area and Coordination of National Government has directed chiefs in Kiambu County to set up tree nurseries in their area of jurisdiction as a way of ensuring Kenya attains the 10% forest cover. The directive was issued during the launch of a tree planting campaign in Lari, Kiambu County.
I am pleased to note that Kenya Forest Service has already developed an online platform that allows registration of these tree nurseries as well as private tree nurseries. This will create a continuous monitoring of seedling production across the country. I also urge all county governments to finance implementation of plans and incorporate forest development in the overall county integrated development plans.
Speaking during the launch, Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Environment, Dr. Chris Kipto, revealed that climate change is taking its course and the country will require 620 billion shillings to invest in mitigation measures.
One of the ways to deal with climate change is to address land degradation and to focus on forestry. So that brings me to my second point, which is on the 10% tree cover. Our experts have told us that to reach 10%, we need to plant at least 2 billion seedlings. And this is why you have been hearing of the 2 billion campaign. We require to do 2 billion to plant 2 billion.
On his part, Kiambu Governor James Nyoro expressed concern with the situation surrounding some of the forests in Kiambu County.
Several forests in Kiambu. We are told this forest may not be as important as you think, but consider that it is actually the main water source for Lake Natron and Lake Magandi. So if we mess up the place here, people who are living in Gurumani mountains in Kajiado will be suffering, and that is how interconnected we are as far as agroecological zones and climatic conditions are concerned.
The campaign comes at a time the government is keen to tap the potential of forestry in private and community land as it seeks to increase forest cover. Under Draft Forest Policy 2020, the government says it cannot achieve 10% cover by only focusing on gazetted forests on public land managed by Kenya Forest Service. Daniel Masiza, TV47.
Well, that directive was issued during the launch of the tree planting campaign in Lari, Kiambu County. You're watching your channel of choice.